lucky, I found that one to pick up. After that, I read The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. This this is another one I've been wanting to read since it came out, pretty much, but I haven't gotten around to it since now. But I really, really love this one. It was so, so good. I I always love books set kind of in the Middle Eastern area. They always just feel so romantic to me. I don't know if that's because, like, all the old-fashioned adventure movies always end up there, at least at some point. But anyway, this kind of embodied all that feeling that I usually get reading books set in this or this time period. And I really, really liked it. And it was a great retelling of the Scheherazade story. And Scheherazade was really, really a great character. I wasn't sure how much I'd like her at first, but she just grew into such a really, really good heroine that was strong and headstrong too, but in a good way. And I think she needed to be, because someone had to tell people what was what. But yeah. But it was really good. I loved the world building. It was just kind of like, the only complaint I really have about this book was that there is magic in this universe, and I don't think it was utilized nearly as much as it could be. I mean, I kind of liked how it was very light on the magic, but at the same time, I would have liked more explanation of, like, kind of what kind of magic is used, and, like, I don't know. It just seemed like it was kind of a side thing in this book, which, like I said, is okay, but I would have liked, because the whole thing essentially is based off of curse. So I would have liked a little more as to, like, what kind of magic was used in this universe and all that. Because some parts are very magic heavy, and others, like, there's absolutely no magic whatsoever. So it was kind of confusing. Worlds like that always kind of confuse me. I would have liked a little more about that. As far as the characters go, I loved them. I loved Khalid, and obviously Scheherazade. I also really, really liked, I think Jalal is his name, Khalid's captain of the guard, or his cousin. I think he's the captain, and his father's, like, the commander. They, like, I loved them. I loved their banter together. And I also like Scheherazade's friends. Even though, it's Tariq, I think. I'm trying to remember the names. He was, like, I liked him. I wanted to like him. But at the same time, he was kind of annoying. I liked him a lot better in the second book, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, anyway. Overall, I thought it was really, really even a lovely romance story, because it's kind of the way I like to read romance. And even though, like, that's most of the plot line, I still think it was, well, obviously, I mean, it was expected. It's a fairy tale retelling, so I'm not necessarily upset about that. But I did end up really enjoying it and becoming invested in the characters. So, overall, I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. So, I really enjoyed it. After that, I picked up Such Wicked Intent by Kenneth Oppel. This is the second book in the, this Dark Endeavor duology, I think. This one, I really enjoyed this Dark Endeavor. I read that one a few years ago now, but honestly, this one I just didn't think needed to be written. I really liked the first one, but I kind of felt like there's not really anywhere you can go, after that. These are prequels to Frankenstein, in case you don't know, about Victor when he was, I think he's like 16 or 17 in this book, which in Frankenstein he actually starts out as like 18, I think, so it's like literally right before that. Anyway, this one, it was weird, and not necessarily in a way that I liked it. Like, I mean, in a way the concept was interesting, but it also kind of wigs me out. And it just, The other thing that I have to complain about is that does not fit in with the Frankenstein story. See, the first one was kind of like, it was more like, it kind of went into like the alchemical stuff and all that, which is, I mean, it's not like that's not even my favorite kind of thing, but it was, like, it was understandable. It was something that would have come up in the time period, so it was okay. This one was just got way too weird for me. Um, I'm not gonna say why, um, because if you want to read it, it's just you'd kind of want to go in. I'd kind of want to go in without knowing, because otherwise I'd probably not read it, and I don't want to do that. But it's just I didn't really care for it myself. Um, and plus, Victor just ends up getting to be such a jerk in this one that I wanted to slap him anyway. Which I kind of felt in the original story. So I guess he is portraying him correctly. So that's one thing, I suppose. But overall, I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars because it was like, I mean, it was enjoyable. It was kind of creepy too. So I mean, I did enjoy it, and there were parts of it that were cool. But overall, I wasn't really a huge fan of this one. So, but I'm glad I read it, and it was a quick read. And the final book I read was The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Eddy, the sequel to The Wrath and Dawn. After I had finished The Wrath and Dawn, I almost picked this one up. It's been a long time since I've actually read books back to back in a series, but I figured since this was only a duology, I may as well, because I had both books. And I really, really just wanted to, like, binge read this series. So I did, and I really liked it. This one, I really liked this book. I think I liked it fractionally less than the first one. Just because it kind of drags a little bit, and kind of repeats itself, too, a lot. But overall, like, as a whole, this is an amazing duology. And just a really great retelling. I don't know, it's just, I really, really liked it. I continued to like the characters. I was kind of afraid that Scheherazade would get a little annoying in this one, but she actually stayed pretty well, like, in character as far as her character was in the previous book. Like, she didn't go all mushy on me, which is what I was afraid of. She just kept at it and kept doing what she had to do, which I appreciated. I really liked getting to know her sister more in this one, who turned into a character that I really, really liked, which I did not necessarily when this book started. I thought she was kind of like, I don't know, I was afraid she was going to, like, turn on her sister, but in the end, she was such a good character, and actually really, really became a strong character. And I always appreciate that, to have, like, characters who actually change for the better. But yeah. So much good stuff in this. And see, this was one, like, there's more of the magic in this one. Which, a lot of it just kind of, like, came out of nowhere, from the first book, so, but, like I said, I mean, that's a minor problem. It never stopped me reading. I'm just saying I would have liked a little more, like, background on that. But anyway, really happy I picked this duology up, so I'm really, really love it. And I cannot wait to see what this author comes up with next, because her next book sounds really good, too. So, this one I gave 4 out of 5 stars as well. I think as a whole, this story is just really good, and I would recommend this to anyone who likes fairy tale retellings. And so that was my wrap-up for September, and I'll be back soon with the September book haul, and also a special Halloween recommendations video, so I'll see you guys soon.